Miracles. What are they really? And do they still occur? A miracle can be described as an extraordinary but welcome event that cannot be explained by natural or scientific laws. It is usually attributed to a divine intervention. Probably all religious beliefs stem from or are backed by some divine revelation or miracle. A renowned scientist and atheist, Richard Dawkins, wrote, "The 19th century is the last time when it was possible for an educated person to admit to believing in miracles like the virgin birth without embarrassment." But how true is that? No matter what scientists think, it is highly unlikely that the notion of miracles will vanish from our existence. After all, in a few days' time, millions of children around the world feel they'll be visited by Santa. The Bible tells of numerous stories of miracles, such as splitting of the Red Sea and the Jordan, daily manna to eat. These are miracles seen in the Old Testament, and the feeding of multitudes, healing of the sick, and raising of the dead in the New Testament. The revelation of the Quran is considered by Muslims to be one of, if not the greatest miracle. It is a miracle for all times, unlike the miracles of the prophets, which were confined to being witnessed in their own lifetimes. Nowadays, with more and more people turning to science, everything falls under the scrutiny of scientific explanations, yet some occurrences still fall short of scientific understanding. The creation of everything we know, including life itself, from probably nothing, is a big scientific discussion, but no complete theory has been arrived at to explain this. This lack of explanation, without regarding the scope and diversity of creation, makes it a huge miracle. The capabilities of the human mind, despite how finite it seems, is, well, mind-boggling. What mankind has been able to think up and create is on its own a miracle. The world is littered with architectural wonders from ancient civilizations like the Egyptians, the Incas, the Greeks, and the Romans. So, the big question now is, do miracles still occur in today's world? People tend to have different beliefs about things that happen or are supposed to happen but don't. Some ascribe physical explanations. Some sum it as an act of fate or chance, while many see them as a divine work or miracles. Let's take a look at some things that people consider to be miracles. Of course, science can be wrong, and even modern medicine makes mistakes, but so many are cases where due to one medical condition, a couple is not expected to be able to attain conception, let alone birth children naturally. But in these two cases, after trying everything they could and given up, they had the beauty of having natural conceptions. After a first successful IVF session, they conceived a set of twins, but unfortunately lost both at 27 weeks due to preterm labor and a poor health system. Eventually, after a third attempt at assisted conception, they eventually had a baby. A few years down the line, on coming to the clinic for a routine check on what she felt was a stomach bug, she was found to be carrying another child. She had not been trying, more or less expecting to get pregnant, but there she was, 6 weeks pregnant, naturally, with no assistance whatsoever. After an early diagnosis of bilateral tubal blockage, a first successful IVF treatment, a second failed, and a third almost fatal, due to severe fluid retention and hyperstimulation, she had given up on having another child. She had gone to the hospital for a case of severe abdominal discomfort and nausea. One of the routine tests was an ultrasound. When the doctor told her she was pregnant, she didn't believe and argued it was impossible. Many times as humans we encounter near-fatal events such as car crashes, gunfire, violent attacks, and a host of others. Take a look at the story of this biker who literally fell under the bus with his head right under the tires. His helmet probably saved him, but any other part of him could have been crushed. And that's not to consider that the helmet could have been squashed too. Or this man, trying to lock up his store after a day's work, when suddenly someone taps him and he turns around only to see the metal gate of a truck passing by swing at him. He ducks mere seconds before it would have hit him. He would most likely have suffered serious injuries. The mysterious part, however, even though the camera doesn't show it, is the man who tapped him could not be seen again by him. All over the internet, we have videos of people being rescued or saved miraculously. There is no way to tell all the real from the many fakes, but this seems pretty real. From the footage, it seems the man actually tapped him for no apparent reason, as the truck had not even made the bend. Could this have been his guardian angel, or just a prankster? To some, these events seem insignificant, but to those who it happened to, it brings great joy, satisfaction, and loads of gratitude. To them, they have been blessed with simple miracles, the kind of miracles many of us overlook today. If you search deep in your heart, you'll find things that you can't explain scientifically that have happened to you. These are the small miracles of everyday life.